So we're lucky enough to have guest commentator Eric Calderon,
Hello.
who is the development executive at MTV at the time. He's the one who pushed to make this show happen.
Back
Basically,
in the day.
I owe my career to Eric Calderon,
You don't know
the
that.
guy who was the cubicle next to me when we were coming up. Looked at my sketchbook. He's like, "Motherfucker, what are you
crazy.
doing? Like drawing
you
on
do
these guys'
revisions?"
shows, making show of your own." And I was like, "Eric Calderon, sure, why not? Whatever you say, buddy."
And that's when you got your first development deal.
Absolutely,
That's right.
absolutely. So this is playing Dungeons and Dragons, something we all know about.
Yeah,
Eric played the voice of the kind of weird meld between George and Eric, who was the Dungeon Master. I don't know if you want to talk at all about that character.
No, that's good. I mean, as you can see from his strange baseball cap and Asian face, he's the combination of the head writer George Krstic and myself. And if you hear the strange voice, I actually...
It's dripping with glowing fungus.
Oh yeah, the voice.
The voice.
That was
is-
there was Rich Kranz's
Right.
impression of his nephew. That was like my impression of Rich Kranz's impression of his nephew, who was Eric's impression of my impression of Rich Kranz's
Yeah, yeah.
impression of his nephew.
really badly photocopied,
But
photocopied voice.
it was a good voice.
It's a
I
good
thought.
voice, and
Yeah.
to this day I still can't do it. There's only one man who can do it, and it's not me, because you
And it's
heavily
Rich
directed
Kranz.
Can't
the...
play anymore. The campaign is ruined. 2
There it
months
is.
down the
There it is.
Why can't you just make another
Yeah.
secret
I guess the
and
sad
here
part
you
about
go,
this...
the girls to
Yeah.
shut you down.
Listen, if
Na-
they're trying
but
to
I'll
say
tell you
that I can't
now,
map
the
out
girls
another
will like
entire
bake us
adventure
dinner.
that fast.
That's
while
true.
we're making
That's
playing
true. There's
Dungeons and
always
Dragons.
like someone's
We've
wife
like
to
reached
cook
a
us.
kind of like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
plateau in our lives where it's not ever gonna get any better.
Video games, comic boys, oh yeah.
Well, we all have like girlfriends and wives now who will like suffer us playing on the
They're
kitchen
like-
table while they make food.
Kinship, and the appreciation of the
If you have to.
So if you guys are gonna play, what do you want to eat?
Oh, here we go. Here was the goth chick fixation.
Right.
It's like, oh, the 7th floor. This is where we get to hang out with Jody and his like friends.
Oh, you had a dorm like that too, where there's one level with all the hot chicks?
This is actually at the cons. They would rent out like Jody and his friends, and most of them were gay.
Oh, right.
But the
What,
ones that
did you
weren't
finally
gay were
ask
chicks.
Serena?
And they were hot.
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
So you're just
Like
gonna watch
Barry?
it from a safe distance like usual.
Is that a girl
Obviously,
or a guy?
a girl named Barry.
Oh,
Obviously, who Goat probably nailed.
Of course,
And if
he nailed
didn't,
everybody.
He
right?
did
Yeah.
in Legend.
Now, the college dorm I was at, every odd floor was guys and every even floor was girls. So the
Oh,
same thing.
this is a true story. I saw this at Toys R Us. The guy was yelling.
Yes, you've actually acted
And the
this
guy-
scene out for me many times before it ended up in the show.
There you go.
That's right.
So you
It was a
know.
warning.
Wait, here.
If I don't stop living the life of toy
This
buying,
is-
comic book reading, video
Oh,
game
I
playing,
think you had a
freak,
good
that'll
line
be
there.
Oh,
me.
yeah, right
somewhere.
back.
Fat,
Yeah.
bald, smelly, and out of my mind, screaming at some teenage stock boy. You
Eric
got none of the
Calderon, voice
guys."
actor.
Don't worry, Alex.
Are you a member of SAG?
No SAG for Eric Calderon.
No.
You could even get the beast there.
No SAG
I've got to
anywhere
get
abouts.
off this
Goat
hole.
is now a member of SAG, believe it or not. He
Because of
had
all
to
the
join
voices for you
SAG.
guys.
Yeah, he's done so
Wow.
many voices he had to join SAG.
That's great.
Alex,
Unbeknownst
as
to
your
him.
Dungeon Master, there's something I should tell you. There are two kinds of people in this world.
Oh, this
those
is a
who
good
think
line.
the real world is nice, like a postcard from Arizona, and those who know it's a deep, dark, sucking void that no one should ever make a postcard out of.
I thought the
Bleak.
two kinds of people were the
Bleak,
guys
I
who
must
think
say.
out of the box,
Those are
and
the.
guys who don't.
That's the physical voice of Eric Calderon, but the mental voice of George
That's
Krstic.
right. Yeah, the soul of Krstic is spoken through my distorted accent. That's true. That's true.
Never will.
It's that close up against black that is so
Oh,
George.
they never will. They
Never.
never will.
Never. Actually, I haven't even watched this in years, so it's kind of nostalgic.
I
to
haven't
watch
watched this in years either. It's really kind of interesting to watch this.
It. It's
It's
dirtier
interesting
than I
what
remember.
like comes up. Like I remember like who was the director, who was the layout artist, who painted that background.
Yeah, right,
It's
right,
interesting. Like I look at that, I'm like, oh, it's Ben McRae's friend did the actor.
I'm dreading the whole event.
But this is like your first like
Virgins
actual
that only use their
kind of
opposable
SWAT
thumbs for
team
video games
attack
and
at trying to make
It's
TV
true.
shows.
I'll tell you, the one thing
But I figure
I've already had the worst job in the
that
world,
I
so what
really
could be so
feel
bad?
in making this show was I had worked on a bunch of shows, and I hadn't been satisfied with the way it
Now,
had
one
been
summer I was
produced.
a
Right.
dunk tank.
I'll tell you, the one thing about
This kitty
MTV
amusement park,
that was
I think the reason
really
I
a
attracted so
good
much
thing
business is 'cause I grew up in the
was that
neighborhood.
Abby
Everyone hated
Turcouli,
me.
the president of
Yeah,
MTV
I was so
Animation,
different from them. I'd yell like, "Hey,
basically
baby,
had
look at your
trust
shirt. You throw like
in
a
anybody
freaking
under him
pro."
to basically do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yes, you
He
could really
didn't
take a chance.
micromanage.
Right.
He was much more interested in just making the next deal.
Yeah.
And he didn't like ever manage anything that was going on like presently. So we never had to clear anything by him, and we basically ran the show however the fuck we wanted to.
Right.
And I had been working on a bunch of shows that I wasn't satisfied with, and I was like, this is going to be the good one.
Yeah, right.
And I really felt like
that was your
we
mission.
made it good.
Yeah, it was.
And, recently, after working in commercials and show opens and stuff like that, and then going into TV, that I wasn't as, like, battle-weary. I wasn't like, oh, we must really fight to make this show good. I went in kind of like, hey, dude, like, I give a scene to a guy and he does a fucking awesome job because he's a great animator and I hardly even have to direct him.
Right.
And then you send it over to Korea, get it back, and you're like, God damn. Oh, by the way, that Bigfoot,
Yeah.
like lip sync, some of the best lip sync on the show.
Really? Why is
Yeah.
that Bigfoot so good?
Such good lip sync, I don't know. You have to ask SOB.
This is the
Voiced by Ben McCrae, the voice director. This guy right here.
the creepy guy there.
Creepy guy. Yeah. Often, because MTV doesn't employ SAG,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
whoever
right.
happened to be in the room
Right.
was voices for
Yeah,
the show.
yeah.
Which kind of like fit in with our
Yeah.
non-actor kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thing
yeah.
doing on this show.
I can't help but notice as I watch this that it's so New York.
It is very New
Like,
York,
the
it's true.
colors and the style that,
Dark,
now that
dirty.
now that we like live in the land of sunshine
Yeah.
and Los Angeles and this, that you look and go, oh, well, those are some dark times.
Pretty much always night,
Yeah.
even when it's day.
That's right. Yeah, something's always scratched on something somewhere. But
Oh,
actually,
The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you,
did he do the voice?
Undertaker did the voice. We went through a lot of effort to get a good, like, big. Oh, the furries.
The
Made
furries.
sure to make fun
There
of the
you go.
furries there.
Yeah, got a reference.
And
to
Bernstein is a furry there.
furries. She does the
For
voice
those
of
who-
one of the furries. Okay.
Didn't do a voice, but designed after Ann Bernstein.
Is that a fifth level demon?
Yeah, probably. That's
A
the
ball
beast of
rod?
Akron. Oh,
That's a
I think this
sixth
is an
level
act break coming up.
was
Act
wondering.
break. Here we go.
Go, go, go.
Will you be my boyfriend?
Go.
That's the soul of George.
And here we are
Yeah,
back
back
with the
on
second act.
picture.
Not boyfriend for real.
Nice.
Just like
So
walk
that
around
wasn't
with
really Japanese
man
on the
of
back
dork.
wall, was it?
Well, they're following me around and
I don't know.
not talking
We
to me or
cared back
anything.
then, so it might have been.
You haven't cared in a long time.
It's true.
Actually, you can tell when you look at this, there is something inherently 20s about this.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that,
true.
like,
So is it
I'm
okay?
fighting uphill and I've got a lot of things to prove,
will you make one
and I'm
quick
gonna
stop
prove
with me?
it.
It is a fact.
Yeah.
God, I ran into
But
a
it's
friend
good.
who
Yeah.
was in this
But it's good. There's, like, a lot of raw passion in this show.
Too afraid of
And even
actually
looking
people.
back now, it looks way better than most of the stuff on TV, I gotta say.
I was very happy with the background
that
painting.
errand?
Here's one thing I
Yeah,
have to
right.
say
Yeah.
about this show.
Okay.
Made by a guy who secretly wished he could be a background painter. Because I love the background painting. Background painting was my shit.
Ah, that's your
Oh,
secret
the
focus?
Undertaker. Yeah, I'll tell you, the Undertaker
Okay.
was a. It was a. We really tried to get a name wrestler for the show.
Yeah.
We were like trying to. Wrestling was big.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to get a wrestler.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of things we had to go through in the script too to make sure. Like there's a lot of lines that we originally had where like wrestling was fake and
Yeah, right,
he couldn't
right.
say that kind of stuff. But
Ah.
this is actually our highest rated episode.
Because of the guest star.
Because of The Undertaker. I think we got a 1.8 household rating.
That's pretty good.
Which was
for
pretty
cable.
good.
That's
For-
near Beavis
okay,
levels.
so- Beavis actually wasn't one of the highest rated shows on
It
MTV.
was the
I'll
Celebrity
tell you,
Deathmatch.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's the one that
was
really got the ratings.
really kicked the ass of
Yep.
every other MTV show
Yep.
other than Real World.
Yeah, and I could get fired for
Yep.
something like this.
They've got an Xbox game out of Celebrity Deathmatch now.
That's good timing.
Yeah.
5 years after the
fact.
show. It's that.
Eric
Exactly what I
Fogel
thought
has a
my
family.
tattoo.
He's doing well on Long
No, that's
Island.
good.
I
That's
wish
good.
him well.
Yes, we
Eric
wish him
Fogel,
well.
you rocked the house.
Yep, you're a
gave me
good,
my
solid
first job.
creator. That's right.
I
Yeah.
worked as a storyboard artist on the head. It was actually a very fun job.
I
must
remember.
say,
Oh, I'm
it
sorry.
was a good time.
Yeah.
Good times back then.
Yeah.
Really didn't mean to, I swear.
He definitely has like the
Sexy
good rep
robot
as like
books.
solid dude.
Cool.
I can
Oh,
dig
yeah.
it.
It's nice.
So we're not are we supposed to
Nice.
talk about the show on here?
Yeah, there's like
There are all these great
Soyorama
half-naked
robots
female
there.
Oh, a
She's
good
looking
reference.
at the Soyorama
You
robots.
know,
This was a
no
gag
girl
coming up that
with
I'm
big breasts
never
are
quite
totally
sure was
erotic.
pulled off well.
All right, let's check it out.
It's supposed to be that he's like really digging the Soyorama robots, like their boobies and stuff, and then it's like he lets go of the
You know,
book
those
and it's
guys
still
that were leering at
standing
me
up
probably
because he's
couldn't even
propping it
handle
up by
this
his
on
heart
video.
on.
Let's see if you pull it off.
I'm
with
not
the
quite
layout.
sure that it
Yeah.
gets pulled off. Oh, voice coming up by Trish Ward,
Oh,
who
Trish
played one of
Ward.
the booth babes.
That's right,
the
and
Assy
who was
booth.
once my assistant,
Yes.
and then
Who
worked
lives
on
out
many
here
shows.
now? She's working
That's right.
at Disney.
I'm an issue.
Works at Disney.
She's
Totally
contacted me
remember
via
the first time I
Friendster.
discovered them, don't you?
Okay,
Trisha
here
Ward,
comes the
I
point.
apologize for not getting back to you.
That's right. Yeah. Well, when she sees this DVD, she goes, "Oh, Chris,
Really?
Exactly.
All right, here's the. Now, is this a fugue, Chris?
This is a fugue, which is one of the flashback
And these tapes are sticking out from under.
flashbacks.
I don't think either of us know the
Flashbacks,
definition.
fantasies, sequences. Fugue was a term that George came up with. I think it was very
He did?
appropriate. Yeah.
He made up the word?
He did.
I thought it was like some film term that was
No,
common.
it's a term from music or something.
What did you
There
do?
you go. We made a lot. We sat and belabored this point for many weeks.
How to
What should
label.
we call these things? Sometimes they're
Flashbacks or
flashbacks, sometimes they're
fantasy,
fantasy sequences, whatever. And George was like,
yeah.
let's call them fugues. That's an uppity term of music.
That works.
And we're like, sure,
Look,
whatever you
this
say.
is a fugue. Okay, now here's the
Dirty.
Soriyama
Oh, here we go.
boner gag.
And soon up. And Jody, I think that's
for the book.
the
That sounds
voice
like
of
Jody.
Jody Schaefer.
Yeah, it is.
And there you go.
Hold
He's
on.
trying to cover up his heart on. Played too fast.
Yeah, I
must say.
think you might have missed the timing. on that one.
Sometimes.
You know, when you're in your 20s, Chris.
No, you time it too
Sometimes.
fast. It's sure. We did a lot of these X gags. They're supposed to be X-Men.
Exactly the opposite. Every
You know, a
place
lot of
else.
these people have these X shirts on, but
this
long
might-
before the
Before the big
resurgence
movies,
of
phrases.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure you don't have to go?
Are you trying to tell me
No,
that you're
I'm
ahead
good.
of your time?
It looks like it's
I
your
don't
turn.
know. Ask
we
Mike
here?
Doherty.
Oh, hey.
Oh, Goat's taking a piss. This was another feud that I'm not sure worked.
So we got the guy
This
in
when
the
Goat
bathroom.
is like goes off on this crazy fugue of fantasy jousting.
Let's see if it pulls off.
Go. Will you do me a favor and buy something?
The
for me?
classic
I
poster
can't do
sticking
it,
out
'cause
of the
I'm with this girl and I
backpack
don't want her to think
comic
I'm a
guy.
toy-hoarding
That's a
loser.
common
A
sense.
lot of posters going
Yeah.
on at the
Oh,
Comic
yeah.
Cons. I don't
And
know
no
if
one
you
brings
guys
bags
will be
prepared
going
for
to
it.
San Diego Comic Con. We
I'm
will
gonna be
be.
there. Yeah, I'll be there.
We will be.
Okay, here's the feud you're wondering about.
And it's over
Quite
already.
fast. Quite fast.
A lot of fast
Yeah.
timing
I
back
don't know how
then.
much it's
So,
going
Chris,
to
are you gonna
be,
make
so
is something
my
like
credit
this
card.
in your future,
But be
like a new
careful with it. The
downtownish
interest rates
type
are
of
low.
show? Do you see this direction, or is this
I don't
something in
believe
your
that's the
past?
direction I'm going in. I'm
So,
going
what do you
more
wanna do
for
now?
less for the critics, more for the
I have to make an
masses.
appearance.
Oh, there you go.
Unfortunately, that's our direction
That's
with
okay,
Megas,
man.
and that's the direction.
You
in
got to
the
do
future.
one for the
Okay, then.
paycheck, because you did
Indeed.
this one
Since
for
you're in your
the
dorky
dirty
workplace,
soul.
you probably need
Like
that.
the
No,
one-
this
the
was my
artist.
this was my art film,
That's right.
Try
and I'll
this.
tell you,
And
it
that's
would have
what a-
been way more artsy fartsy
Not
if you
right
didn't
yet.
have guys like Brian
Ah,
Graydon.
forget
on
it.
it.
Let's just go.
Like they were like
Did you-
make it for the
did
masses.
you directly mention an executive? Act break. Ever you do.
Oh, here we go.
Hey.
The 7th floor.
Oh, the fugue.
Thank
of the
you.
This
seventh
was
floor.
largely posed by Dave Vandervoort.
A fine animator.
Although I think some of this stuff was,
seems like you know
I think
Yeah.
And by the way,
I
Dave
really
Vandervoort, the
like
only man alive who can still do the
There are
voice
some people up
of
here who
the
actually
character
know.
that is
That's
based
true.
on George and me.
that's true.
So that's good that you
He's a
got him
gifted
up.
impressionist, I'll
Yes,
tell you.
yeah, very good.
Yeah, my voicemail's been screwy. See?
Although I think Louis Solis might have done some of the stuff. I know I did some of the voices in that hallway.
You did some of the voices?
I did. The one that goes like, ha ha ha, Serena, ha. Something like that.
Now, have you talked about your original student film that was the first
It
inspiration
was the
for this?
basis of this. I think we did in an earlier thing.
okay,
I
okay.
think one of the first
That's right, you probably
commentaries we did,
Yeah,
we talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
the pitch to Abby and
Let's not rehash
how we
that
went
shit
out
again.
and got coffee and
That's
how
right.
you and John Andrews were confused
Yeah.
and how it eventually became.
You talked
This is
about
not the
your
stand-up
book.
commentary, bro.
That's right. Any direction.
We divulge all secrets.
Just give me the comic.
I'm sorry.
Now you talked about your hardbound book. You still own that? Is it still in
Give
existence?
me the comic.
Everything is in existence, bro.
I want to
I
see
got
that
it
shit.
all.
I haven't seen that in
I
so
got it all.
long.
I got many things. I've got some things like some early sketchbooks we'll be scanning. Check out the extra features because we got some good shit in here. We got sketchbooks full of shit.
And by the way,
There's
your
one
first
image-
anime reference.
It's true. This
This
is
is the
definitely
anime
an
reference.
anime
Like
reference.
before the time when we all decided, let's use
Yeah.
Japan as
Look,
the
that's
next
like a
thing.
Pikachu reference
Oh,
right back there.
With the big peanut mouth going
Yeah.
on. And the crying Sailor Moon men, women.
I think Cowdy Hamura directed
Oh, yeah.
that and designed most of those characters. and
There's a
that
fine
sequence.
designer.
Yeah,
Cowdy Hamura.
absolutely.
Yeah. The three-eyed children, baby.
Absolutely.
Artwork she does is genius.
Married to Bill Long now.
Really, I did not know
Absolutely.
that. That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Where
Dave
did those
Vandervoort
live?
definitely posed this scene out. This is one of the
You know, I'm glad
like
Zeke's
the
not here yet.
the
I get to hang out
acting
with you.
scenes.
I
This
see.
is definitely
Do you
all
ever
about
notice
the
how easy
acting.
it is
Yep.
to talk to someone that you're not sleeping
It's a
with?
gentle
Yeah,
moment.
I know what you mean.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I can
Like
see
check
it's kind
this
of
out.
like
See this like
these screwed
the
up
anticipation
wait,
eyes.
here we go and then there's the
Really?
I have such crummy luck.
it's coming
Poor
up and
taste.
here we go
What
and
is it
here's
with
the
girls like me?
coming up
All the
is the-
guy has to say is that he's been in prison.
Oh, it's
and
after this
rehab.
little
It's
bit.
like my head
This
gets
guy is
right
voiced
over
by
my
Darren
brain, starts to
Zoltowski.
slip out.
Yeah, I remember
He was
Darren.
one of the production people.
And he actually
kind of
looks like Darren.
You know,
Yeah,
if you
somewhat.
wanted to, I'm sure you
And
could have
here
a
we
different
go.
great
This
guy
is
to
the
go out with
scene
every
coming
night.
up. The one that I've been
Twice
waiting
some
for
nights.
No
is.
way. I've always been a mess.
Oh,
In
wait, that's
high
not the
school, I
one.
had to
Damn
ask
it.
You
a
want
boy
that
to
money
kiss me.
shot.
And this
bad, don't
character
you?
coming up is like she basically did it with Aleoi.
Ah.
Who's coming up? Aleoi, guy we went to
Well,
school with.
needless to say, I didn't
Ended up
guess
being
it.
a director on King of the
King of the Hill,
Hill.
that's
And now
right.
he's going to be a director on Avatar. There we go. Aleoi.
Hey.
Kiss
Oh, wait,
the guy
come
you
on.
wanted.
This is the scene.
He acted all
This is
weird,
the
like he wasn't
Big
a
one
few.
of Vandervoort's
Later I
scene
found
with
out
the
he liked
Do it,
me.
exaggerated
Vandervoort.
overshoot.
That's
And oh, we should settle right there.
That's
what I
his
was waiting
signature
for.
style. You waited just for that
Kissed
moment?
me.
I was waiting for it.
But I can see Vandervoort in there because I've seen his animation. He
You
loves
can
that
see
kind
it.
of
And
anticipation.
this right here, Nick
settle.
DeMeo. You can see a little bit of Nick DeMeo style in this. You know, you can tell if you know.
Yeah,
If
lucky.
you know the
It's
DeMeo.
probably very
I'd be
boring
luckier
to
if my friend
you
was a
guys,
nice
but
We're not making this for anyone but ourselves, actually, so it don't
enjoy
matter.
the background painting.
Yeah?
Sure.
Here we go. Uh-oh.
This is a
Is there going to
gentle
be dirty
moment.
sex? Who can know?
Ah, put on a
Oh,
special
it's
feature.
Darren Zoltowski.
I'd better
Who
let
can
him
know
in.
these things? I'll tell you a little bit of something from
Inside
the...
stuff? Yeah,
Here's,
Hey,
this is
man.
from like Christmas
I
party
don't think
shit.
that
That's
Serena
Oh
from
shit, I always had bad
This is
Christmas
dirty.
parties, you know it.
Dirty Christmas party.
What year?
Oh, probably maybe 97, 98 around
Okay,
there.
okay, I'm
I
there, I'm
remember
there
there's
with
a
you.
dirty makeout session between Darren Zoltowski and one of the other people on the crew. I won't mention who. But I was like, man, she's
physically
making
saw
out
it?
with Darren Zoltowski?
Wow.
I
Now,
was like,
who was too
damn.
high end for who?
I used to like to do like
Yeah,
some
with-
dirty dancing with that girl, and she's making out with Darren Zoltowski.
And he's got
Who
mad
can
style
know
that
these
just
things?
cleaned that one out.
He was just going for it, bro.
Now
I
those
had a
Christmas
girlfriend at
parties,
the
they
time.
wreck every one of us every
Sometimes-
year.
Who can not remember
That's good, John.
the Christmas party with Carol Milliken
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the dude from Brazil? What
Yes.
was that guy's name?
Fuck, what is his name? He was so funny.
He was on the UNICEF.
Yeah, and he
project.
was so afraid to go home in the dark.
Yeah. But he loved to make out with Carol
did.
Milliken at the Christmas
He
party.
gave her the
I'll tell
forbidden
ya.
dance.
We had our word,
All right, so anyway,
The
that's the
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
The highest
we
rated
got
part
him.
of the show.
He was the highest rated episode, 1.8 household rating. I'll tell you, we got some good teen ratings on this. We got like in the 5 point something, the teens. on
Teens
this
love
episode.
wrestling, as we found out on the
Teens
show
love
after this
wrestling.
one.
We should have just made a wrestling show.
Oh wait,
Like
no, we did that already.
Celebrity Death
Death
Match. They've got an Xbox game.
5 years too late.
Shoo. Go home to your mothers.
That's Shane Ganego doing the voice there.
The
Oh,
line
I
of
did
reference.
the voice of this dork right here. Oh, Assy Magazine was a very popular porn magazine on this show.
I never read porn before.
But look, this guy is based on a real guy I saw at Toys R Us.
He's a lot more cartoony than your other characters.
Yeah, Dave Vandervoort largely posts this, like, posed.
Yeah, I
you
can
know.
tell. I can really tell his style now.
Yeah,
You
So
needed a
this-
lot more than I do.
but he was
Eh.
winning. That is the argument of the door. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
This is back.
here we go. And you know what this
I
is?
dumped Zeke. He was a
This is a
loser.
subtle ending right here.
Uh-huh.
It's subtle. That's what we did back then. Before we
Back in
knew
the
any
day
better.
when you respected when you respected art.
That's when we loved art better than commerce. Those
now that
days
line
have
is-
changed.
I think at about 30 that happened.
Yeah, I
Right.
think so. I think it's like the day
think
when
we
you
can
run
make
into
art
like
again.
Chris Brown in the hallway, and he's like,
Man, I'm making too much money.
yeah, I forget who he was. It's like Robin Silverman. He's like,
Yeah,
she's a
Paramount.
joke killer. Do not do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Do not submit. You must succeed in what you want to do. Please do not submit. And I was like, Chris Brown, thank you for giving me that speech in the elevator of the 1633 bunny.
But now
Props
we'll
out to
submit.
Chris Brown. Chris Brown is one of the true people who like does what he wants to do.
Yeah, and he's truly a genius, actually,
Yeah,
too. He's a
absolutely.
really smart dude.
See, Goat's gonna put his hand in his pants here, jerking off the midget porn.
Yeah.
There we go.
And you go.
Abby Turcouli.
Hey, Turcouli.
While
and
his
MTV
name is on the
animation.
screen.